summer salad straight from the Optavia app. This is the taco mason jar salad. So come on along and lean and green with me. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth and I am living in the light by documenting my weight loss journey, and I'm using Optavia's 5-in-1 program. I've been on the program since June of 2022, and so far in 48 weeks, I have lost 118.2 pounds and 62 inches. I have about 32 pounds left to go to reach my ultimate goal of losing 150 pounds. Before I show you the contents of our recipe today, could I invite you to please scroll down a little bit? Just give me a thumbs up. Let me know that you like this kind of video. It really does help my channel. It helps my videos to be seen by other people. And ultimately, as a content creator, that's what I want. And I do love being able to share what I have learned, the successes that I have had on this plan with other people. It doesn't matter whether you're on Optavia or you're on some other program or you just want to eat healthy. This is an awesome recipe that works for pretty much anyone except maybe Whole30 because there's cheese and dairy in there. So probably doesn't work for you if you're on Whole30, but everybody else, this is a great recipe. So thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't subscribed to my channel. And I would also really appreciate it if you see somebody who you think might need this recipe, that you share this video with them. So let me quickly go over the contents, the ingredients that go into this salad. I'm going to be using just clean quart-sized mason jars. These I got at the dollar store for like $2. So they're cheaper than the ball jars, but they do have a narrow mouth, which might make it a little harder to get stuff in there, but I think we'll make it work. I need to have a medium-sized bell pepper, a half a cup of loosely packed cilantro, which I grew myself, a clove of garlic, a third of a cup of grape tomatoes, sliced, 3 tablespoons of chopped green onions, a half a pound of lean ground beef. Actually, I'm using ground turkey. 3 cups of shredded lettuce, 2 teaspoons of lime juice, a third of a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt, a half a cup of reduced fat Mexican blend shredded cheese, an 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of taco seasoning. Now I pre-cook a lot of meats ahead of time, so I've already cooked my taco meat with the taco seasoning. So this is actually turkey instead of ground beef. And because this is a leaner instead of a lean, I'm gonna add a healthy fat. And you know what that's gonna be. I'm gonna add 1.5 ounces of avocado to my salad once it's prepared. But we'll leave that out because if you're using the 90 to 94% ground beef that the recipe calls for, then you don't get a healthy fat with that. The first thing that I have to do though is make my dressing. The first step in the recipe is to cook the ground beef and then add the taco seasoning. So that step I have already done, that's already prepared. So I'm gonna skip to the next step, which is to make the dressing. So I have just this small handy chopper. So I'm gonna use that. If you can use a small blender. The first thing I need is a third of a cup of non-fat Greek yogurt. So that's gonna go in there. Then I need the cilantro. So this is a half a cup of loosely packed cilantro. And so that's going in there. I washed this, picked it this morning, washed it, and picked all the leaves off and loosely packed it into the half cup container. I need just 2 teaspoons of lime juice, 1 clove of garlic, and 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. So for my lime juice, if you roll it a little bit on the counter, that just gets it a little bit softer. And then just whatever you want to do to squeeze your limes. I have a couple of different types of citrus juicers. So I need 1 teaspoon of lime juice. Save the rest for something else. I need 1 clove of garlic. And I was gonna grate it, but it's gonna actually go in the food processor, so I'm just gonna slice it up into a few small pieces just to make it easier for the food processor to get it ground up. And then I need 1/8 of a teaspoon of salt. And I use kosher salt, so really I could do a little more than that, but 1/8 of a teaspoon is fine. Pop the lid on here, and then let it go, and I'll be right back. My dressing is made, so that's all nice and ready to go. That's going to go at the bottom of my 2 mason jars, so I'll get to that in just a moment. And I'm gonna clear up a few things, and then we're gonna cut up some vegetables and do some weighing for some vegetables to make sure that we get even amounts. So I'll be back to show you that. When I record these videos, I usually check to make sure that it's actually recording before I start talking, and I didn't do that, and I got my first couple of steps done for assembling the salads without showing you because it wasn't recording. So here's what happened. I did have to add another teaspoon of lime juice because the recipe actually called for 2 teaspoons and not 1. So the dressing had 2 teaspoons of lime juice. That came to a 1/2 cup. So I divided a 1/2 cup in each of, 1/4 cup in each of my jars. Then I had 1/3 cup of sliced grape tomatoes. It was basically 4 grape tomatoes, so 2 sliced ones in each jar. And then 4 ounces of the ground turkey, seasoned ground turkey in each jar. So I did that and have that measured out. The next step is my peppers. I've already weighed this, so I know that this weighs, actually I don't know how much it weighs. I thought I knew how much it weighs. Let me try. That looks like it might be even, so let's give this a try and see how much it weighs. This is diced red pepper, so that's the next thing that goes in. And so I'm gonna weigh this. I think I did want it to be 2 1/4 ounces. That's 2 1/8. Let's see how we did, how I eyeballed it. That says 2 1/4 right there. Let me see if this weighs 2 1/4. Two and 1/8, it's close enough. So those 2 have the peppers in them ready to go. Then I've got 3 tablespoons of sliced green onions. I'm just gonna eyeball this and sprinkle the green onions in there, about 1/2 of them. So it's about 1.5 tablespoons per salad. And we're gonna have these salads tonight. The green onions actually came out of my freezer, and so if I was gonna save this for a couple of days, I probably would just go ahead and do fresh, but I didn't have those. The next thing I wanna do is the shredded lettuce, and I know that I want 2 1/2 ounces of lettuce. So I'm gonna kind of pack this in here and try to get 2 1/2 ounces. And you can shred it more if you want to, but I'm gonna just leave it this way. That's only 3/4, so let's see how this does. So I need 2 1/2 ounces total. This is when having a wide mouth jar would probably be a little more beneficial than this narrow one. 2 3/8. Maybe one more piece. 2 1/2. All right, so there's 2 1/2 there, and then I'm gonna do 2 1/2 here. The cheese actually should have gone in before the lettuce. So let me do 2 ounces of cheese here. I'll put the lettuce on top of the lettuce in the other salad. It doesn't really matter. Oh no, 1 ounce. No, not 2 ounces. I'm on the struggle bus today. There we go. because it's a total of 2 ounces between the two. So this one's gonna get the rest of this. Now I can clear this out and put in 2.5 ounces of lettuce. I'll give my husband the one that I messed up. Don't tell him. There we go. Got my lettuce in there. All I have to do is pop the lids on here, pop these in the refrigerator. Dinner is already ready for tonight. When we get ready to eat, we just give these a shake, dump them into a bowl. I'm gonna add avocado to mine. My husband will probably add black olives and who knows what else he'll add to his. And we'll have a yummy taco salad for dinner tonight. I hope that you will give this recipe a try. Please leave me comments in the comments box down below. Is this something that you would try? Are there mason jar salads you would like to try? I know there's an Asian one. There is a cheeseburger one, and I could probably also come up with a Greek one. So if there are ones that you would like me to try, leave me some comments in the comments box down below. And until I see you next time, please live in the light.